Hey, what's up, y'all? Coach Rock here, the official trainer for I Love Basketball TV, and I have a treat for you today. Today, we're going to get into a video where we're going to show you how you can jump higher today. Doesn't matter if you think you have bad genetics, you think you're not athletic, maybe you don't have access to a weight room, whatever you may think the reasons are that you can't jump higher. Put all that aside, because today we're going to help you jump higher with our brand new breakthrough that we found in vertical jump training called Plyo-Mechanical Vertical Jump Training. Now I'm going to get more into that in just a second, but first I want to tell you, make sure you pay attention to every single section of this video, because it's important that you understand every single phase, every single tier, every single category of this Plyo-Mechanical training so you can take it with you and start using it at home today to start jumping higher. You don't want to miss out on anything, so pay very close attention. So I was first introduced to this training by Coach Josh. You guys have seen him on the channel before. He's done a few vertical jump videos. He's one of the best performance training coaches in the world. He's going to be joining us in a second, and he's going to be kind of introducing you and showing you some of the phases in this Plyo-Mechanical training. But just so you guys know, Coach Josh is a two-time All-American athlete at Clemson University. He was a star athlete, and now he's a star performance coach. We're lucky to have him. I'm so happy that he showed me this Plyo-Mechanical style of vertical jump training. So what is Plyo-Mechanical vertical jump training? It's pretty much a unique combination of our jump technique training, our fast action plyos, and our never before seen vert mechanics. Now again, like I said, Coach Josh is going to come in a second, and he's really going to break down the fast action plyos. He's going to show you why they're different than just the regular plyometrics and why they work better than those regular ones that you're probably doing at home. And then he's going to show you our never before seen vert mechanics, and this is the real game changer. So again, pay close attention to this entire video. You do not want to miss any of those. But first, I'm going to touch a little on jump technique. So jump technique in vertical jump training it's not anything new. In fact, about 8 or 9 years ago, our very own Coach Adam Linkenauger kind of introduced jump technique to the world of basketball, to the world of dunking. Coach Adam, similar to Josh, was a NCAA All-American athlete at Clemson. He was a 7-time ACC high jump champion, had a 50-inch vertical, Powerade national dunk champion. I mean, you name it, he did it. He was one of the best vertical jump trainers in the world, and he kind of revealed that jump technique can help players instantly jump higher. So over the past 8 years, our training has taught thousands of players how to jump higher instantly by fixing their technique. And coaches and other trainers have kind of taken our techniques and used them with their players, which is completely fine, because that was our goal in the beginning, was to help as many players jump high. But now we get to the dilemma of jump technique is just the standard. Now everybody knows about jump technique, so we had to go back to the drawing board and kind of figure out how we can make tweaks and more advances in our technique training to help our athletes jump higher than the competition, because now everybody knows about technique. So right now I'm going to show you some things that you can do right now that are going to help your jump technique, and you can refer to a video I'll post in the description. It has about 4 million views. I completely break down technique. It's a great video. Go check it out after this video. But now I'm going to show you some drills that are going to help you master your technique in vertical jump. That's going to get you using perfect technique without even thinking about it. So let's get straight into these drills. So jump technique is pretty much the art of jumping properly, having proper form when you jump. And what this is going to do is it's going to help you get the most out of your jumps. Now think about this. A baseball player has a swing coach. Tennis players have, coaches that show them how to swing the rackets. Golf players have swing coaches that show them how to swing the sticks. Basketball players have basketball coaches that show them shooting coaches. So how come nobody has jump coaches? Jumping is similar to all of those skills. It can be taught, and it can be learned by anybody to instantly start jumping higher right now. And that's what we're going to do in this video. Now, I'll link in the description a technique video that has over almost 4 million views that I did that'll really show you technique. But in this video, I'm going to show you drills that will help you master that technique. That video just kind of shows you what proper technique is, so definitely refer to that video after this one. But in this video, I'm going to show you the drills that will help you improve that technique. And the first thing we're going to get into is we're going to get into the power of the punch pad. Next, we're going to get into core contraction. And last, we're going to get into the brick wall effect. So first, let's start off with the punch pad. All right, so first we're going to get into the punch pad, and this is also known as the ball of your foot. Now, I want you to think about something really quick. Think about if you punch somebody. Now, if you punch somebody with your fingertips, do you think that'll hurt them versus your fist? Which one do you think is going to hurt more? Your fist is definitely going to hurt more. It's kind of the same thing when you're running and when you're jumping. A lot of players stay on their toes. That's like staying on your fingertips. That's not a very strong part of your body. But when you move to the ball of your foot, you're able to put more force in the ground. Now, how we like to teach this punch pad is we want you to focus when you're running, when you're jumping, on pushing the ground down, because that means you're being explosive and you're really powering through your approach and your takeoff. Now, the punch pad doesn't exist if we don't have dorsiflexion. So dorsiflexion is pretty much running with my ankle dorsiflexed and my toe kind of pointed upwards towards my shin. So that way, when we're hitting the ground, we're hitting on the ball of our foot every single time. So I'm going to have Coach Josh, he's going to come in and he's going to kind of show you some drills that are going to help you with this punch pad, with this dorsiflexion. I promise you, you add this to your run up, to your takeoff, you focus on, having dorsiflexion, using that punch pad, which is the ball of your foot, powering through the ground and exploding in the air off of that punch pad, you're going to see instant results in your vertical jump. All right, so now Coach Josh, he's coming in and he's going to show you the 2 drills. I'm going to have him demonstrate them for you so I can kind of talk through while he's doing them. Now, the first thing Coach Josh is going to do is pogo hops. Now, we're going to do these two-footed pogo hops, and I recommend doing like 3 sets of 10 with these. And how this works is he's going to focus. Do a few for me, Coach Josh. You see how he's staying on the punch pad, the ball of his foot. He's bringing those toes up, showing dorsiflexion. That's good. That's how you want to do when you're doing these pogo hops. Focus on that dorsiflexion, exploding through the ground. Did you hear the loud claps on the ground when he was jumping? That's what you want. If you listen to Coach Josh run, jump, you'll hear that when he's running, because he uses so much force when he's pushing into the ground to get more speed and get more explosiveness to explode through the ground and into the air. Now, the second thing Coach Josh is going to get into is we call these the punch pad taps. So Coach Josh, let's get a little room. Let's give him some room. And Coach Josh, perform some of these for me. And these are just the punch pad taps. Here, again, he's staying on the ball of his foot, training his body to use dorsiflexion when he's running, jumping, everything. So, again, he's powering through the ground and staying on the ball of his foot. Again, you can do those about 3 by 10 off each foot. Just go down, 3 by 10 off of each foot, and then come back 3 by 10. Really easy to add these to your dynamic warm-up and just train your body to use proper dorsiflexion when you're running and jumping. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about that's very important in jump technique is core contraction. Now, core strength is important in vertical jump as well, but a lot of players think that it's all core strength and they completely forget about core contraction. So what is core contraction? Let me demonstrate with Coach Josh. Coach Josh, tense your core, like try to strengthen your core as much as possible. So now that's using his core strength. But if I were to come and say, punch Coach Josh in the stomach, did you see that reaction he did? That's core contraction. That's what we need in our vertical jump to control our MCV, which is our maximum control velocity. And this is going to help you with pretty much taking that horizontal speed vertical. So the stronger that core contraction is, the more speed you can take vertical, which obviously more speed means you're going to jump higher. So it's very important to have that core contraction down along with core strength. Now, core strength is going to help improve that core contraction, but don't get it twisted. Core contraction is very important. Now, the one way to practice this drill is get a teammate. You can have a ball and just throw the ball at each other's stomachs. And that's going to help make you practice just building that core contraction, that response. So when you jump, you're going here, even if it's 1 foot, but you're tightening that core as well as contracting that core to take all that horizontal speed vertical. All right, now the last drill that we have, the last section that I'm going to talk about in this technique phase before Coach Josh gets into the fast action plyos and vert mechanics is our brick wall effect, I like to call this. Now, pretty much we're going to use this wall right here, and I want you to approach this wall and take a jump. Now, what this wall does, the power of this wall, is it forces you to, 1, stay tall. So in our technique, we like to teach chest up, everything up, and take all your vertical take all your momentum vertical instead of horizontal. A lot of things you'll notice is players kind of break down here and they end up jumping forward. Well, if you do that at the wall, obviously you're going to bust your face, so don't bust your face. And if you do, don't blame me. Nah, but seriously though, jump straight up vertically and start close. So you could start like right here, just a quick like 2-step jump, and then you can move out as you get more comfortable. So Coach Josh, I'm going to kind of demonstrate for me. You can kind of see it, kind of pick a spot on the wall. And again, this is just going to train you to jump. So Coach Josh, take a 2-step jump for me. Just a quick step, go straight vertical. And you see he has to go, that's pretty high, but you see he has to stay straight vertical. He has to go straight up and down. And this is really going to help you practice jumping up instead of jumping that way. A lot of players can't control their speed and they end up jumping this way instead of taking all that momentum this way. So once you master the 2 foot, then you can start moving back. And so try to bring more speed and try to, you know, stay vertically and don't hurt yourself on the wall. Now the next thing we're going to use the brick wall effect for, we're going to use this wall again and we're going to focus on our arm swing. Now Coach Josh is really going to talk about using arm swing and why it's important in your vertical jump, especially in the fast action plyos. Those drills that he performs for you are going to show you how to use arm swing in those drills to get the most out of your vertical jump. But what we want to use this wall for is to keep our arms tight. Now I know myself as a 2-foot jumper, a lot of 2-foot jumpers do this. When they jump with their 2 foot, their arms go kind of like this. And I used to have this problem. I used to go like this with my with my arms. It used to be just like that. But when you jump, you want to keep your arms tight and straight explosive, down, up explosively. You don't need this wasted motion. So a great way to practice this is use this wall, practice here. And you don't even have to take jumps. You could just practice using that arm swing. But if I go out, if I go with my old arm swing, it's not going to work. So here we have to practice keeping tight arm swing. You can practice both directions. You can practice 1 foot. So again, use that wall to keep your arms tight. So that's it for the technique phase. Use these 3 sections and use the drills that we showed you to help you master the technique. Now Coach Josh is about to get into the fast action plyos. Let's get right into it.
All right, so you already got jump technique down. Coach Rock kind of took you through the basics. We ran a couple drills. You got the basics of jump technique. You use those drills and master them. Now we're going to get into fast action plyos, which is really exciting because they're fairly different from regular plyos. Your regular plyos, of course, is going to work on explosive ability in your legs, but they only focus on one element of power and explosion in your body. These fast action plyos are different because they focus on exerting a lot more force. You're going to have to create a lot more force within the ground. You're going to have to absorb a lot more force than your typical plyos. They're great plyos. They're working every part of your body that you use vertical jump in. Typical plyos are, like I said, strictly focused on your leg power, but our fast action plyos are focusing on contraction in your core, all of your back muscles you're using to jump, your hips, and creating that force and really quick reactive power in your legs. So that's what's really different. We're going to show you a couple drills in these fast action plyos, and you'll really see and feel the difference. When you get these drills done, I just want you to get the feel of what's really different about these. So let's get into it. All right, so this first drill I'm going to get into, you've probably seen these before, but you probably haven't been explained the correct way to do bounds. We're going to be bounding. Now, there's a lot to bounding that you don't get. A lot of people talk about bounding, but they don't show you how to correctly use bounding, to use the correct muscles that you're trying to really get explosive and strengthen, or to even use the correct technique, which you don't want to sacrifice quality for quantity. So I'm going to really break down how you're supposed to bound. Now, for starters, when you're bounding, one of the main things you want to really stress is the arm movement, because that's the same movements that you're doing when you're jumping, whether you're a 1-foot jumper or a 2-foot jumper. So anytime you're planting that foot on the ground, you want to be really forceful and aggressive. Like we talked about our method of jump training, we really teach and coach being very aggressive on the ground, very aggressive with every movement involved in the vertical jump. So that's one of the first key things you want to do is when you're bounding and that leg is in the air, making sure those arms are really far back and you're really exploding. When you're bounding, you'll definitely feel sore in your back muscles if you're doing it correctly. If you're not sore in your back muscles, then you're not doing it correctly. You're not building strength in those muscles along with the other muscles that you're working while bounding. Now, the second key point I want to get into while bounding is each time your leg comes around, you want to get that hip at least to 90 degrees or higher. That's key because it's training your hip to strike from a higher position. It's going to be a stronger strike, a more explosive strike within the ground. So really focus on that. And then the last key point, well, not last, but the next to last key point is that core contraction, which we kind of talked about in our jump technique training earlier in the video, is each time you're striking, you want to really contract that core and use some of the drills that we showed you earlier in the video to focus on contracting that core to help bounce and explode out of that jump. Now, what I really want to get into is the goodies of bounding, which is how you're supposed to strike. Now, I've seen a lot of videos and guys talk about bounding, and they're striking with their toe first, and they're breaking at the knee. This is going to cause your shin to absorb that strike, which you'll end up with shin splints and injuries, and you're really not even training the correct muscles. You don't want all that force to be absorbed in your knee and shins, because that's where you're going to start getting weak tendons, you're tearing ACLs. Shin splints is something you can't even run on shin splints. So I want you to get that out of your mind. Do not strike going forward. The key point here is using dorsiflexion, which we always talk about, pointing that toe in the air. I'm going to give you a side demonstration using dorsiflexion. In each strike, you want to strike with your heel and your legs right up under you so that it's forcing your glute and hamstring to really absorb that force and keep taking that momentum forward in each one of your bounds. So again, use dorsiflexion, keep your knee and leg tucked, reach out and strike right below you, roll off of that heel so it really forces that glute to contract, the hamstring to contract, and that core to contract so you can roll out of it and bounce really explosive. It's fast action because you're getting that core contraction, you're getting that glute contraction, your muscles are really exploding with your back. It's the total package. Now, this next drill here is what we call gravity jumps. We use a box. You can use a chair. You can use the couch at home. This is one of my favorite fast action plyos because it's really going to train you to use explosion from that bottom position, so you don't have a chance to really jump. You don't have a chance to bring speed. This is pure explosion that is creating in your body and in your core contraction. You're going to be seated, so you're going to be forced to really contract your core and to really lift those legs to get off the ground and really power into that ground explosively. Now, in this last drill I'm going to show you for a part of our fast action plyos is called the seated box jumps. Now, they're going to be seated box jumps, and I'm going to go from the box jump to a reactive depth drop, plyometric jump. Now, what's important here is I like this because a lot of people, two-footed jumpers especially, when they're going to jump, they go in and they dip and then they throw their hands back, and they're losing a lot of speed, they're losing a lot of momentum that they can take vertically. Now with the seated box jumps, you're already down in that dip right here, so you're forced to already have your hands back and make it a one motion jump, so that when you're jumping at the rim, you want it all to be one quick motion. So same here, it forces it to be a one quick motion and creates an explosion out of the ground, and then straight from that jump, we'll add the reactive element where you need to be quick as you can off the ground. We want to spend the least amount of time on the ground as we can to train those muscles to be fast twitch and fast fiber. So here we're training explosiveness into reactiveness. Now, so this last part is our vertical mechanics. Very new, innovative. No one knows about this. Now, what vertical mechanics is it's our new innovative way of training proper jump technique and plyometrics the right way they should be done through drilling and exercising. Now, why these are going to help is because they train striking from the hips, stabilizing your core, and really hitting those proper tall positions that you need to be in when you're going to take off, have your hips high and right under you. These are going to really train that. Now, a lot of mastering technique might be harder than you think, or for some of you, you can't do it. Now, this is one of the ways you can really drill. They're a lot easier and they break it down slower to train you to be aggressive, get your hips under you, so when you're bringing that speed, you can have proper technique along with your mechanics. Okay, now, so this first drill we're going to get into, you've probably seen some A skips before, and a lot of people doing pretty lousy, honestly. They're not doing it correctly, you're not stabilizing your core, you're not hitting the right positions. I'll see a lot of people hunching over, and they're just up and down, up and down. That is not the proper way to do them. Now, our A skips, we're going to train striking at the top from the hips. so that your hips are really getting used to being aggressive and strong, really hitting that ground aggressively. Because a lot of people, even when they're performing a jump, they might be pretty laid back and chill, and aggression is just not in their nature. Now, doing this drill will kind of start bringing that into your muscle memory, bringing that into your mind to do everything aggressively, because we're going to train aggressive and explosive so we can get aggressive and explosive and jump higher. Now, this drill right here, I call it the pop, pop, tap. I call it that because it makes it easier to simulate the moves, because it's not pretty easy to do. I might make it look easy, but just think in terms of pop, pop, tap, and you'll be good money. Now, one of the things with the pop, pop, tap is what we talked about in jump technique and really stabilizing that ankle and dorsiflexing is the foot that's down is going to be really focusing on using your punch pad and keeping your legs right under you while doing that. Now, the opposite foot is going to focus on having that hip past 90 degrees or parallel and really hitting that ground aggressively. So you can really continue to get used to being aggressive, continuing to hit the ground under you, and it's also gonna help you mimic that hip exchange in the jump when you're about to take off for your vertical jump. Drill it good and hard, learn it properly. You can do it really slow, just get it down, the motions of the pop, pop, tap, and really focus on really striking hard on that ground and aggressively.
I hope you enjoyed today's video. Look, you follow this plyo-mechanical training, you're really going to start jumping higher. Look, I have 3 free gifts for you right now. All you have to do is click the first link in the description, and that's going to take you to a page. I asked you for your email. You put in your email, and then I'm instantly going to send you over 3 things. The first thing I'm going to send you over is kind of a rundown, a worksheet of the drills that we did today in this video, so that you can take them with you to the gym and you can make sure you're doing all the drills, the right sets and reps. The second thing I'm going to give you is our jump technique checklist. This checklist is going to be something that you could just run through to make sure you are jumping properly, getting the most out of every single jump. And the last thing I'm going to give you is the first part of our brand new 3-part video series that we just dropped. We just released the first video, so you'll get access to that, and then you'll get access to the next 2 videos straight to your email in the next few days. So again, click that first link in the description, enter your email. It works on mobile, tablet, anything. Put in your email and I'll instantly send you over all of those 3 bonuses. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up for me, like it, comment below, let me know what else you want to see. You know how we do on I Love Basketball TV, always bringing you videos that are going to help you become a better player, more athletic, all that, you know we got you. And last but not least, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel, I Love Basketball TV. Almost at 1 million subscribers. Let's get it.